Over the past several years, we've seen Disney admittedly focus more on identity politics and virtue signaling than on actually entertaining people. We've seen all the leaked Zoom calls between these executives about their agenda, their not-so-secret gay agenda, their racial agenda, and how they want to target it towards children. As a result, we've seen their animation, whether it's from Disney Animation, from Pixar, whatever. We've seen multiple box office flops and failures because parents, quite frankly, aren't interested in this garbage anymore. They don't trust Disney enough to let their children watch whatever they're putting out. And when it comes to Lightyear, which came out last year, that was one of the biggest failures they may have ever seen. A movie that cost $200 million production budget, another at least $100 million in marketing, a movie that needed to break $500 million just to break even. And they barely crossed $200 million in the box office. A pathetic flop and failure for Disney. And after all that, they've thought a lot about that failure, and it looks like they're not even acknowledging some of the things that went wrong. Maybe it's your agenda. Maybe it's your radical agenda that's one of the things that's turning audiences off. Disney did a lot of soul searching after Lightyear flop and learned nothing. The groomers in charge of Disney did a lot of soul searching after Lightyear flopped, and as you'll see, they've learned absolutely nothing. This is from an interview with Pixar Chief Creative Officer Pete Docter about Lightyear. We've done a lot of soul searching about that because we all love the movie. We love the characters and the premise. I think what we've ended on in terms of what went wrong is we asked too much of the audience. Yes, the audience, they're just so stupid. We really asked too much of them to come watch this movie. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you didn't use Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that there was clearly an agenda at play surrounding identity politics, surrounding a lesbian kiss. It didn't have anything to do with that. It had everything to do with we just asked too much of the audience. When they hear Buzz, they're like, great, where's Mr. Potato Head and Woody and Rex? And then we drop them into this sci-fi film, and they're like, what? Even if they've read the material, it was just a little too distant, both in concept and I think in the way characters were drawn and that they were portrayed. Well, that might explain why people were disappointed once they got in there. You couldn't get anybody to go to the movie, could you? You couldn't even get people to give it a chance because they knew what awaited them. And Angus, the director, to his credit, took it very seriously and genuinely wanted to represent those characters as real characters, but the characters in Toy Story are so much broader. And so I think there was a disconnect between what people wanted/expected and what we were giving to them. Translation, blah, blah. This is me talking around the obvious, blah, blah. Between production and marketing, Disney spent around $300 million on Lightyear. Worldwide, it grossed about $225 million. Again, $500 million would have been like the conservative break-even point. In reality, more likely around 600, and it made $225 million at the box office globally. What a pathetic failure. And to not talk about the elephant in the room, the clear identity politics at play for something that's a kid's franchise. You wanted to make it a little bit more adult maybe, but it's a kid's franchise. You use a character from Toy Story. That's not where you should be putting all of this political messaging. This is a Toy Story movie. This is part of the most popular animated franchise in history, and it bombed. Why did it bomb? Well, as you can see, Disney either has no idea or it's refusing to speak the truth. Not for a moment can you expect the bootleggers at the Wrap to press them on the issue because it might interfere with their access. Doctor isn't the only Disney liar to lie by omission. Insiders are spinning the twin failures of Lightyear and Strange World. Remember Strange World 2? Blaming it on confusion in the marketplace for families who were trained during the pandemic to just wait for the features to end up on Disney+. Yeah, somehow, I think it might have had a lot more to do with the fact that your not-so-secret gay agenda was exposed to the world, that families finally heard it for themselves, that it's not just a hunch, it's not just people spreading rumors, that they are actually talking about pushing a gay agenda, pushing a woke agenda in these movies, and they're targeting it towards your kids. That might be one of the primary reasons why both of these movies were absolute catastrophic failures. And we're certainly seeing other animated movies be success. We talked about Minions: The Rise of Gru, even Puss in Boots after a pretty bad opening going up against Avatar and things like that. That's now almost at $500 million worldwide for the new Puss in Boots movie. And audiences are loving that, and that didn't have a $200 million budget. That's making money. But somehow it's just Disney. They're just the only ones that have a problem getting people to go to the theaters for their movies. Weird, isn't it? It's almost like it's something specifically about Disney that families might have a problem with right now. Weird how that works, isn't it? So they can make all the excuses they want. They can talk about the pandemic. They can talk about streaming. They can talk about, oh, we asked too much of the audience. At the end of the day, I think most people feel it's pretty obvious why some of these things have flopped. Parents no longer want to expose their children to what Disney's putting out there, plain and simple. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.